did we find?
We were pretty excited about this Goodwill as it looked like a boutique. And straight in the door, I spot something that is worth taking a look at. Now, going back and researching after the fact, I didn't pick this up, but I probably should have because these sell really well, as you can see.
There's a J. You missed the J.
I usually pick up this Coventry brand of dishes with the scriptures on them. Most of the pieces sell really well. They do have good value.
You went straight for the books.
Oh, there's a little zebra.
I did end up bringing home the little Beswick dogs. They were easy to put in the suitcase. They had some cool things I might have looked closer at had I been home, but I was really focusing on things that I could get into my suitcase and that were lightweight for the most part. I didn't succeed at that completely, but that was my focus. This store was set up really nice. It was really eye-pleasing and easy to shop. Someone really knew how to merchandise things to make them much more appealing. Loved this vase, and again, had I been home, I'd have taken a closer look and probably bought it. Nothing too special about that piece. They call this a bookstore too, so you'll see there's tons of books. You know, I'm still not sure what these are. I opened a box, I tried to look inside, but one-handed, I couldn't figure it out, and I wasn't interested enough to go back when I had the camera off. Sorry. I thought these were wood when I first went to grab one, but they are a ceramic. They are pigeons. And I couldn't find any comps, so they're probably a good buy. You know, I like when I don't find something exactly like what I'm looking for. Same with this guy. I know it's a decanter, but I could not figure out any more than the fact that it was a decanter. I searched man in bush, man in bamboo, man in grass, nothing came up. So he was very interesting, but again, something that would have been hard for me to get home. And these nice little wooden boxes tend to do pretty good as well. Then I spot the avocado terrine. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this so much, but it had a big chip. I don't know about you, but when they put the things in the little cubbies like this, super easy for my eyes to shop. This is a Tetsubin. It's a Japanese teapot. It is cast iron, very heavy. But this one was one of the newer models, I believe. But they can sell for hundreds of dollars. Of course, I had to give a little Chewy a look. But I spotted this tiger, which was obviously vintage. And upon closer inspection, you can see that it is a Holland mold. Now, Holland molds were blank pieces that people would paint. So you can see here's 3 different ones in 3 different painting styles. Not a big seller, though. I thought this plate was really nice. It was one of those pieces done off of some famous piece of art. Oops. That was almost bad. Then there was these little stuffed pillow kitties. You know, I probably would have gotten these had they, had they been done well, but they were not stuffed enough. They were kind of floppy. And this cutie, it's a raccoon. And in my original voiceover, I mean, not voiceover, but the original audio that I took out, I called it a fox. What was I thinking? But $7.99 was a bit too much. Now this thing, I kind of wish I had bought this. He's a wood, like a scarab beetle. He was huge and he was $10, which is probably why I left him behind. But on hindsight, he would probably sell for some pretty good money. The big beetle stuff sells well. And those were just some common pieces of art glass without a color, so not a big draw. This is and I don't even know if I'm saying it right, Yixing is how it's spelled. These can sell for really good money, and I normally pick them all up. But again, I was traveling. This one was a newer piece, probably only worth the $25 to $35 range. But it was cool, and normally I pick every one of these up that I can find because, as you can see, some of them do really well. But it's the coloring in the clay that really helps you identify it. Then I spot the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, have no fun monkeys. They were $14.99, which is why I left those behind. This was just such a fun shop to thrift in. I mean, somebody has a sense of humor. Okay, do you get it? You can put in the comments if you get what I'm laughing at right here. We've got like the Mother Mary religious next to the Cards Against Humanity. It's a party game for horrible people that should speak for itself. And if you've ever played it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I picked her up to buy her at first because she is vintage. And I ended up putting her back. I did get this little Odagiri sparrow. Not that it's worth a lot of money, but it was super easy to put in the suitcase. And it is a bird. These are Gofen, is what you call when they have that white porcelain face. It's a special type of material that's used in these Asian dolls. And some of them can actually sell for some really good money. I tend to pick up anything that has seashells. I'm just drawn to them. I love them. This we actually did purchase, and my daughter used it to put a plant in. And we spotted this little green fox. Now, he is a contemporary threshold brand, but still can bring some decent money if you find him for cheap. People love their animals. Okay, as I was editing the video, I was thinking to myself, where is this? Where is this? I cannot believe I didn't buy this. I seriously put this back on the shelf. What was I thinking? Wow. Yeah, I'm having regrets. I normally buy everything that can be like a tortoise shell or a tortoise. I might have to send my daughter back to go get that if it's still there. No, I'm sure somebody grabbed that. It's so cool. Okay, what do we have here? Some swans, nothing exciting. And here there are some abalone shells, and normally I do pick up abalone shells, but this place knew what they had. They had them priced at $12.99. They weren't very big, so it's the big ones that bring the good money. So be watching for ones that are at least over 8 inches in diameter. Well, not quite diameter, but you know what I mean. I really liked even some of the shoes that they had here, like these boots. Was totally digging these boots, but they were not my size. Then they have these rooster plates, and I have looked them up. They just don't bring very good money. It was 2 different brands. This is the Metlocks, and I thought at least that one would bring good money, but nope, they don't. This purse was corduroy, and it had a vintage feel to it, although I don't think it was. I think it, oops, almost dropped it. It had a made in China, tag inside, and for $7.99, I did hem and haw over it a little bit, but I'm not a purse seller for the most part. If I sell them, it's because I picked them up super cheap, and that wasn't super cheap in my world. But they had some really cute things. I mean, that had like a Burberry look. This, I normally sell these slabs of like geode agate, and they're really good as bookends. But again, because I only allowed 50 pounds in my suitcase, so rocks were not something that were going to be going home with me this time. And now this pig. Okay, who doesn't need an anatomically correct boar pig? I'm just saying. I have no idea who makes him. He was cute, but I did leave him behind. Dr. Seuss, green eggs and ham tie. Again, I'm not a tie seller. Had this been like 99 cents or even $1.99, I might have picked it up, but not at $7.99. I liked those shoes too, because I'm like a color person. I was looking at the butterfly print, but just so you know, I actually did pick up that vase sitting in front of it when I went back through for a second round. I also picked these up, and they're worth about 20 bucks. I've talked about this stuff on one of my Monday live haul shows. I do those 1 o'clock on Mondays, Pacific time.
Oh, carts! They have carts! That cart does not roll. I don't know, but they got some nice furniture.
I love that little couch.
You did?
Only 50 bucks.
Plus another probably at least 50 to get it home and upstairs. Oh.
Truth is, I didn't like that sofa, and I was really discouraging her from getting it.
Look at these. Look at these. They look like little ice cubes. Jordan.
These actually turn out to be something you want to be on the lookout for. I had no idea.
They're very cute.
Sometimes you just gotta go with that emotional pull. Again, had I been at home, I probably would have bought those glasses and then found out that they were good. That's kind of how my gut instinct works sometimes. So develop yours. Don't ignore it. At least go look up the stuff that you leave behind so you know the next time. They were restocking the shelves. It was quite exciting. It's a little lacquer jewelry box. Again, somebody was doing some merchandising at this store. This is a completely different store than we were at before. This is a Salvation Army. And again, though, they made it look really nice, and that tends to bring more value to the items. Just like when you take really good pictures. I picked this up to use as display down at the antique mall. I liked this piece with the frosted glass. It was a piece that I was considering for my daughter's apartment and to decorate, not so much for resale. Thought this was odd. It says Alice in Wonderland, but it had nothing about it that said Alice in Wonderland to me. So I'm sure it went with some kind of a set, and that is why I left it. This is resin. It's actually an arowana fish from South America. Actually, used to have one of those. And of course, I picked up the Crackle glass pumpkin. Even though it's a made in China piece, it was done quite well, and people just love these glass pumpkins. It'll bring 20 bucks. Okay, I thought this was Fenton. I thought it was a Fenton bear. It was chipped up pretty good. I didn't see a signature on it anywhere, but the chips made me leave it behind. And that bowl was so pretty. But I was really, really trying to be careful about what I was purchasing to bring home. And this guy is really super cute. And then I turned him around and saw that he was cracked. They're kind of like a paper mache. Not really paper mache, heavier than that, but you know what I'm saying, that kind of material, and it just cracked. Now I'm finding those Bing and Grundle plates everywhere I go, when for a while I couldn't find any. It's funny how that works sometimes. I think this was Greek pottery. It was pretty worn and chipped up though. It's another one of those scripture mugs. Had I been home, I'd have picked that up. I was trying to hover. Oh, this is a nice little enameled tumbler, and there's such a disparity in pricing based on how old it is, and the painting on this one looked on the new side, so I didn't think it was one of the really expensive ones. It could be. I could be totally wrong. This was a glass pineapple that I was totally going to put in my cart until I spotted a really big chip on one of the leaves, so that was a deal breaker. Otherwise, that would have been going home with me. This blue bowl, not old, but it was beautiful. It had a really nice look to it. It's a Arlington Designs brand. And now I couldn't find anything in the blue, but I found that they make one with peacock feathers on it, which I thought was interesting. And then I thought these were Murano. I mean, they had the weight, they had the bubbles, they had the cased glass, and look, they are a brand called Tozai. Now, one of the giveaways is if you look at that pontil on these, it's cloudy. Keep an eye on that. That's one of the ways to tell fake Murano from real Murano. Real Murano will have a clear pontil. Not sure what this was. Is he a glasses holder? Somebody tell me. I think that's what he is, right? I had to turn the angel around. I really like these. They're like whimsical is the word that comes to mind with these martini glasses. And these looked like Tanala, but they were newer, and one of them had a chip on it. I think that's what I'm trying to show you there. No, I'm showing you that the painting is done really bad. That's what I was showing you. Look at Ray Dunn. I found more Ray Dunn in the wild. Now, there was a lot of them, and that had me concerned that this was like an unsold or overstock item coming in, you know, to the store, because that's what some of the big stores do, is they just donate it. There were several different bunnies. I did really have to consider whether I was going to pick these up or not. And this is one of the items I did actually look up while I was there. And I am going to show you what I found and why they got left behind. Yep. The bunnies just don't bring real big money, and especially ones that say Happy Easter, because those are going to have to be put away for almost a year before they come out again. So, got to pass on the bunnies. I spotted this really cool Martini Glass Set. You can see the picture matches. I mean, the price was right. These would have gone home with me had I not been traveling. Definitely was not going to try to put a glass pitcher into my suitcase. And I know some of you have said, you know, well, you could ship it, but you got to remember then that shipping adds on to the cost of the item and takes out of the profit. So there's always more stuff. Just remember that. There's always more stuff. This was a cool little puzzle. I've sold one that was like in the shape of a train. Okay, Hummel plates. Let's just say it. Stay away from the Hummel plates. They do not sell. It's very sad what has happened to Hummels. Very sad. I contemplated going and taking this angel over to the other kissing angel. Although they were slightly different, they seemed like they should have been together. More pineapple. I would figure that in the coast of California, people would be decorating in a tropical fashion. Okay, this little bird, he was so cute, and I was gonna be good. I really was. I was gonna be good and put him back on the shelf. But no. He came home with me. This was a neat jar that I was looking at for my daughter, but it was a dispenser that was missing its spout, so that was a no-go. You can see I'm still hovering over by the guy who is restocking the shelves. I'm staying very close over here. He was unwrapping things. I don't know what was up with this Muffineer shaker. That paint job is, I don't know if it was a repro or it started out painted like that, but it was not right. And it's funny, the crazy lamp lady just did a video where she found one of these sand dollar arts, and she kind of describes it, so you can go over and watch her channel and learn about that. This is actually a piece of EAPG in the Canadian pattern, and again, had I been home, I would have picked this up because that's about a $40 piece. Yeah, kind of kills me to have to leave EAPG behind. I probably should have bought it. I probably should have and left it at my daughter's for my next trip. But live and learn. $2.99 just kills me. All right, again, this one's not even in question. Boom, this one is going with me. And this was another piece I was going to show to her to possibly put a plant in. Not for resale. As was this piece, because she's decorating a 1920s apartment with, you know, a kind of little mix of antique and vintage. This was a neat piece, except for the gold was really, really worn. Somebody scrubbed on it just a bit too much. That's what happens. Aha! More Calypso. I did not buy these. I would have bought them had I been at home. It's from Party Light, and they made different bases for these so you could change them out. And then I spot some Franciscan apple, but this is a super new mark on this. And I thought it was like a whole set at first, but it wasn't. And then this is a Wedgwood Peter Rabbit plate, which does okay. So I probably should have picked that one up. And then I spotted another Franciscan apple plate. And this one had an older mark on it. Still not the oldest of the marks, but it's an older mark. And okay, so you know me, I have to rearrange things just a little bit. There we go. I'm much happier about that. This is coin glass. It is EAPG. And you know, it was one of those pieces saying, buy me, buy me, buy me. And I didn't. And I wish I had. I cannot find that particular piece, but I found this one comparable in size. It sells good. This is soapstone. And I just felt like he was meant to have a second piece that went on his base. Oops, sorry. Made you a little dizzy there, didn't I? I'm trying to get better at that. I really, really am. So this is the last thing, and I'm sorry my camera zoomed in, but I had to include this because I still don't know what this is for. It's like a lacquer. It's Snow Tuyette was the designer. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Somebody tell me. Take me out of my misery of not knowing. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me. There will be a part 4, believe it or not, and that should be up soon. So hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification, and you'll be notified when I get that next video uploaded. All right, go be profitable and make it fun.